All right. What's up, folks? We are here to talk about the Rich Gannon Award. The Rich Gannon Award in Super Bowl 60 goes to Drake May. Played like pure ass on a snow bunny. Damn, this fool was garbage, man. Oh my God, man. You talking about single-handedly costing a historic franchise a Super Bowl shellacking. I mean, this dude didn't do a goddamn thing on that field, but look like Rich Gannon. Straight doo-doo, homie. The only thing that goddamn New England had going for itself was the dude on defense, the Christian Gonzalez dude. Outside of that, this fool Drake May played like absolute terror. That fool was straight nightmare on that damn field. So go back into it. And then salute to, man, they getting the right on who won the MVP. So salute to the right guy won the MVP. The running back, Kenneth Walker, did his damn thing. They said he rushed for the most yard in the Super Bowl since Terrell Davis. So he definitely deserved the game. But it was scandalous, man. When they called back, wait, how many yards he in with 135? He down there could have ended this with 180, 170 something yards. When they called back the 150-yard run that he made, which was a touchdown, and then the refs called that BS hold on the guard, which is BS. They should have let that one fly. That was not a damn hold. So they called back his damn 50-yard run, which they thought they was going to stop him from winning the MVP, but the kid ended up still winning this shit. If it wasn't going to be him, it was definitely supposed to be the kicker who put the points on the damn board. Darnold only gets the touchdown because of the Drake May fumble, which put them in great field position, and it wasn't that far for them to go. It was just simple as that. So Darnold didn't really do much in this game at all, as well as the May. He didn't do nothing in this game as well. He played like a nightmare. Like I say, he get the Rich Gannon Award. He's fooled through two interceptions, six sacks. How many yards he lose? 43 yards on the sacks. He ended up running 5 times for 37 yards. I think he should have probably had about 15 runs. He should have been running more, forcing Seattle to make some adjustments on their fucking game. Darnold, who didn't do much as well, 19 for 38, 202. He had a touchdown, short field. He got sacked once. You got Kenneth, who got the ball 27 times, rushed for 135. I mean, he started the game off of the first 2 runs, and this first run was a first down. So he showed what he was going to be in this game. This dude got busy in that mug. Then he also had some production in the pass game. Well, 2 passes targeted 4 times. He had that one pass where he could have probably broke if he wasn't backpedaling the ball and bounce off of it. But in Jogba, 10 targets, only 4 catches, leaving him with 27 yards. He was shut down by this dude who was New England's only star that kept New England in the game. This dude single-handedly kept New England in this game up all the way a portion of the third quarter. He had New England in this game until the Drake May disaster entered the second half of the damn game. And I mean, I was cheering on Drake May. I had Drake May, trying to, send the spiritual presence, man. And as soon as I send the spiritual presence to try to get this guy into the game, bam, what does he do? Throw a goddamn interception, costing New England the damn game. And that's all she wrote, man. Drake May was Rich Gannon like. I want to go into a history of some of the worst quarterbacks in the history of this damn game. But like I said, I thought they had many opportunities because this game wasn't closed out. This game was not closed out. I don't think Seattle just like really dominated them from an offensive standpoint. A lot of these points is put up by a kicker. These are a lot of field goal points. There's 1 touchdown in the game from the Seattle side of things. So they had a lot of opportunities here. They didn't have no touchdowns from the Russian side of the game for Seattle, even though the refs called back this dude touchdown, which was BS. Thought that was a ton of BS to call back Walker's touchdown on that major run like that. And that's the other thing. I need to cancel my goddamn my dang what's this called? This thing to watch the Super Bowl, the damn Peacock shit. Cause my damn brother who locked up, he telling me what just happened in the game. My damn feed that I had to pay for today to watch this shit, that damn feed came in like 20 seconds after. He telling me, man, that dude they just called back his touchdown. I'm like, what game the hell he watching? I know he can't be watching the Super Bowl. This fool ain't scored no damn touchdown. I'm like, what the hell he watching? Then 20, 30 seconds later, they show it on my shit. I like, nah, this shit gots to go, man. I gotta cancel this shit out. Ain't no way I'm watching this shit. But like I say, Drake May played one of the most atrocious goddamn football games in modern history outside of Rich Gannon, which was the worst performance I ever seen in my life in football. And now Drake May has kind of, met him in that spot. But let me go into the moment where Drake May fuck over the game. Right when I'm searing out the spiritual, kind of blessing, trying to send the aura out to try to help this fool, to rally his troops because he played like ass from the first goddamn snap of the game. Drake May played like shit. And in this moment is where he fucked the game up. And this is me trying to cheer on this chance to be a hero, mate. I'm going to cheer you on, dude. I'm going to cheer May on to winning this shit. Watch this shit. Let's go, mate. Out your hand. Oh, dumb nigga. Weak. Weak as fuck. I'm doing that halftime. This is the worst quarterback shit I'd have watched in my life. Drake May sucks, man. That's me trying to cheer on Drake May, man. I thought I was gonna rally Drake May to give us a closer game. That motherfucker got in there and threw a goddamn instant interception. Why? Because he sat on the fucking ball. Like he was terrified from the jump in this shit. It was just like from the first quarter, you can see Drake May was like, man, star-studded. It's that bright light syndrome. The lights is way too bright. He was afraid that he made it to the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure going into this shit, making their playoff run, being hyped. They only got in the playoffs because they played in that little weather condition, which assisted them into getting into this shit. Playing in warm weather and showed, man, this motherfucker ain't it. This fool ain't it. And then let me say what's up to y'all. Deuce Time says, congrats to Tank Lawrence. Says, I'm happy for him. He must be a former Cowboy that you didn't turn your back on after leaving, unless you personally know him. And then the DPG says wasn't the worst QB, says, but definitely top 3. Yeah, I put him in number 2. He got to definitely be behind Rich Gannon, unless somewhere historically there's someone who played worse than Rich Gannon. But this fool is right up there. 2 interceptions, 6 sacks, didn't do shit, didn't put the team on his back, afraid to run, sat back there, allowing his linemen to be pushed into him and shit. Deuce Time says Pat's offense has been trash all playoffs. And yeah, and you know what disguised that shit, that weather condition, man, the condition that game. Who did they put out? Did they put out Chicago or Denver? One of them teams. CJ says, I'm glad the Seahawks won, says in the Niners house. Says, fuck the Niners. And then Deuce Time says they lucky Denver didn't have their QBs. Says all the Patriots wouldn't have been there. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Bo Nix is out. That's right. That weather condition was kind of fucked up. And then Deuce Time saying, what's up to you, CJ? CJ saying, what's up, back? And then Picasso in there rolling. Velocity Cuss says, nigga, says Kenny Walker, says greater than CMC, talking about Christian McCaffrey, I believe. And then I'm glad they gave Walker that fucking MVP. And I'm glad they didn't give that shit to no funky ass quarterback. I can't stand these motherfucking old silver spoon, whitewashed, fucking dirtbag ass quarterbacks. So when I seen Darnold up on the stage with him, I said, I know damn well they not about to give Darnold this fucking MVP. And at least I was like, the kicker should have got that shit. CJ says I should have watched your commentary. Says you was rolling like I was. Man, I was in this bitch dying, man. I was in this bitch dying. I thought my motherfucking boy Drake was gonna pull that shit off, man, because it was in the game. It was in the game for the most part. This game was not a runaway until it was. What ended that shit was when, because they still had opportunity. Fucking Seattle left them in the game. Once that fool fumbled that ball, once he got the ball knocked out, and he fumbled where he fumbled at, it was over with. But then again, it still wasn't over because he went down there through those two passes, which the first one was a good one. The second one, that receiver did all he did to adjust on that shit and caught that touchdown. And then it was kind of still in the game. Then the fool go in there and throw a fucking thing. He threw back-to-back interceptions. Like, this fool is ass. And he can you look up the USC QB says who have won the Super Bowl? It might just be this fool. USC produced trash at quarterback. And he says, and then Picasso says, I just tuned in, says, and saw the laughter, says, so I laughed too. Says, but y'all keep it going. I'm gonna go back to work. I know boxing voice. And Picasso says, salute to everyone. Velocity Cuss says at age 23, says at age 23, Maye QB started in the Super Bowl 60, says, what do you do at 23? Cuz, yeah, here go your little slave, black kiss ass, straight up certified plantation ass nigga. Now, if he was a little black dude and lost this shit, just like y'all put criticism on Mike Vick didn't do it, Cam Newton didn't do it, Lamar Jackson ain't gonna do it, he be felling. Now you're gonna give an excuse for this little sorry ass white kid. That nigga 23, by the time you look up, he gonna be 33. And he ain't gonna win shit. Motherfucking, y'all niggas got such a slave syndrome. That shit is fucking beyond me. Nigga, he 23. What you do at 23? Nigga, I ain't spent my time playing fucking quarterback neither. This nigga made the Super Bowl and play like ass. I'm gonna call it out just like they do anybody else. Same way you niggas get on here and talk shit about every black quarterback in this nigga position that y'all watch who gotta put teams on their back and do all this other shit. Niggas making up excuses for this nigga Drake May weak ass. Let me see. USC QBs who have won the Super Bowl. It might just be this fool. Even though I can't get this fool credit because he ain't win that shit. Let me see. I'm only seeing this fool. Has USC quarterbacks ever started? Not started. All right, fuck it. We'll go into the ones that have started. Let's see. They just showing just Darnold. USC ain't look like they produce shit at quarterback. It looked like it's just Darnold. Let me see. I guess he must be the first one. Has USC ever started? Says while multiple USC quarterbacks have been close to the Super Bowl before, Darnold in 2026 is the first signal caller. Yep, he's the first one. Others such as Mark Sanchez, Carson Palmer, you got the current Caleb Williams, have come close. So this makes him the first one. Yeah, this is the first one. He the first one that to get to this shit out of SC, the school of garbage when it comes to quarterbacks. Because they put all them little silver spoon dudes. Caleb Williams coming out the first, probably black inner city dude. Rodney Pete, I don't know where he from. But let's go into the 10 worst quarterback performances. And Drake May is definitely Rich Gannon Award winner today. Purified ass in the motherfucking can. And then Deuce says, I was just listening to Red. Says I didn't even watch that shit. Oh, you didn't watch the Super Bowl? Man, that was a good football game, man. I don't know how you didn't watch that shit. Oh, yeah, you a super five fucking Cowboy fan, which is the craziest shit to be a fan of fucking teams in professional sports. You gotta like the fucking sport, man. So this nigga won't watch the Super Bowl because the Cowboys in it. So that means he'll never watch a football game for the Super Bowl a day of his life. And then and he says Kawhi had him juice. He said Kawhi who went on Luka game plan, shooting the ball 30 times, pulling the textbook copy from Luka. He must have called Luka before the game. Ace Retro's in the building. Salute. He says Patriots didn't run the ball enough. Says didn't run enough. Simple. Says they threw the ball 43 times and ran 21. Says horrible balance. Man, they was afraid to go to the running game. They kind of settled in and accepted defeat as far as it came to running the ball. They accepted defeat. And they put the game in the hands of a young ass quarterback. That's on their weak ass coach. That's their coach Vrabel's fault. Who they put a lot of hype into Vrabel. He gonna do this, but he made it to the Super Bowl. I can't knock him. But his plan in the Super Bowl was garbage. And the CJ says game is game. And then what is that? Hermana Vincente says stop nigga. Says them niggas talk BS says about my dogs. And then about which dogs? And then he says, Jashawn says, call out them other niggas, says too. Says salute, Reg. Yes, indeed, bro. I'm gonna call out all these motherfuckers. And then Ace Retro says, Dude says that game was hours before the Super Bowl. It says, duck them sorry ass Clippers. Or he meant fuck them sorry ass Clippers. Laugh out loud. Dude says, I think the Hawks says defense this year says was whooping. Man, they motherfucking defense is incredible, man. They defense is credible. But what you call, to be honest, the Patriots defense, pass defense was good as fuck. They pass defense for the most part shut Seattle the fuck out. If it wasn't for that running back, man, we would have had a fucking super five stalemate ass game. The defenses would have canceled everything out. That dude, Walker played a hell of five fucking football game. That fool Walker played a hell of five football game. And then CJ says, that's crazy. Says SC says produces trash. NFL quarterback says, but they thrive in college. No, they thrive in college because of what the inner city skill players that they get there to recruit. Like I say, when Carson Palmer was there, all them fools, Carson Palmer, you just put the ball in the fucking air. They got receivers who gonna catch that shit. They bringing all them track athlete ass dudes at receivers who know what they doing out there on the field. Of course, them fools gonna look good. And then every little sorry ass NFL scout go, SC, I need that SC quarterback, and they get in the league and ain't shit. And then Hermana says come over here, says, and talk about my QBs. He laughing, says, just like T.O. says, that's my QB. And the CJ says the halftime show was ass. Says gotta be the least viewed halftime show in history. Nah, no, it wasn't. And then as a man, what the fuck you doing watching the halftime show? You look what you about to dance and shit? Let nigga watch the halftime show, man. That halftime shit for girls and fucking little kids. Fuck that shit. Well, if you didn't like that halftime show, you could have certainly watched the one that this pussy ass president put on that I hear they did. I hear pussy ass Trump and the little dead nigga bitch put on a halftime show. What's her name? Erica, the little slut Kirk. I heard that little whore had a halftime show that wasn't shit because she put it on with a piece of shit motherfucking music artist. So like I didn't know niggas sit there and watch halftime shows for football games. Dusine says the Ace Retro says the vibe's still high. He says the NFL was pandering to Mexicans. I don't know. Mexicans spend money just like everybody else. And then Dusine talking about facts. And then Velocity Cuss says Drake May says the next Rex Grossman, cuz man, he next Rich Gannon. And then the Ace Retro says he had 92. Says he had 92 in the first half. Says and finished with 135. Says the defense made adjustments. Says and stopped them. And then rolling. Rob G says I still think the Clippers should have won. But let me go into this list of these whack ass quarterbacks in history outside of Drake May, who play like absolute ass, and they've been hyping him up, was hoping he won a quarterback. So then they could have pushed the narrative of look at this little pristine porcelain young god out of Silver Spoonville, and they would have been hyping up Drake May because he comes from Silver Spoonville. And he comes from great genetic dominance. And Drake May, you look at him, a great specimen of Europeanology. And, there's nothing like him, and then you niggas will be reciting that shit. Lamar Jackson and them will never be like that motherfucking Drake May. And he says, my brother. Yeah, so that's what they were going to push with him. He had been on every Disney motherfucking Snoopy Land commercial. Patrick Mahomes in Super Bowl, what is that, 55? He threw no touchdowns, had 2 INTs, 3 sacks when Tampa's defense kicked his ass. But he definitely probably threw a lot of yards. He definitely threw for a lot of yards in my Trump voice. Then you had Joe Theismann, who got his ass. Well, Joe Theismann, the motherfucker Joe Theismann, the one who Lawrence Taylor broke his shit, right? So he had 2 INTs in the Super Bowl, sacked 6 times, just like Drake May. But how many yards did he have? How many yards did he throw for? That's what I want to see. Drake May played like straight up shit. You had Chris Chandler. He like a Falcon. He threw for 3 interceptions. Looked like he had no touchdowns. He played like shit. Oh wait, he had just 1 touchdown, so he threw a touchdown. Blah blah blah. John Elway on the list of the top 10 worst. 3 ints. He sacked 5 times. I'm pretty sure he put up yards. That's the only thing I don't like about this list. Let me find a better list. Say he's 14 to 38 connections. That's when the Redskins whoop their ass. It's with the black quarterback. Oh, let me find another list. I don't like this list. Hold on. Let me find a list because I want the yards on this shit. The worst performance in Super Bowl. Let me check this NBC list because I want the yardage that they put up too. Hold on. Let's see how it's formatted. Nope, this one just a writer who wants to run his fucking mouth and produce nothing on it. Horrible list. So they put Rich Gannon. Yeah, Rich Gannon is definitely the worst. Says who's Yep, Rich Gannon is the worst. But then I kind of understand Rich. Nah, I ain't about to make no excuse for Rich Gannon. He played like shit. He played like total shit. He went in there. Matter of fact, Rich Gannon in his game, he went in there panic. That's what he did. That's what cost him the game. He was in there panic, throwing the ball, rushing shit. Ben Roethlisberger, let me see, but I want the yardage that they had in the game. Dun, dun. Let me see, 10. They got Drew Bledsoe on this list. And he got 4 interceptions. David Woodley, Dolphins. Oh, yeah, let me see. Yeah, it's some trash-ass performances. John Elway, the 2 ints, 10 for 26. Gannon, here go Gannon with his. This might be the list I want. Yeah, this is the list I want. 3 ints. Boom, boom. Ooh, it's some people with some. Ooh, they have to. Oh, it's another New England quarterback. So his shit don't count. They must have pulled him. Yeah, let me pull up this list. The Bleacher Report got me a better list. I'm gonna go with this list. And ain't many ads on this shit too. So let me exit out of this one. I'll keep that one up. Let's reject that one. Let's get this one up. Let me pull this one up. So you got the 10 worst Super Bowl performances. So let's go into it. Honorable mention was Ben Roethlisberger. He was 9 for 21 for 123, 2 ints. Says the lowest Super Bowl. Says his 22.6 passer rating is the lowest in Super Bowl history. Says by a winning quarterback. Says he threw 2 interceptions in the red zone. Says the second of which was returned for a Super Bowl record 76 yards by Seattle's Kelly Herndon. So they end up winning that Super Bowl. It looks like it stayed. When was this article written? This is old. Hold on. No, I can't go with this list. Nope, this is old. So this 2010. Let's look for another one. 50, ranking off 50 quarterback performance. I want the worst. Hold on. I might have to get that other one back up on here. Let's see. Patrick Mahomes, Theismann. Do they give me my yard? No, they don't give yardage. So I'm going to have to go back with that same one I had on here. Hold on. They're not giving me their stats. I wonder how many yardage they had. Let's see. 1 second. Patriots. Dun, dun, dun. Nope, that's not it. All right, so I got to stick with the original one I had on there. The other one was too old, so had to reject that one. So even some of the greats are even on this list. All right, here go this dude. Number 3. Ben Roethlisberger, number 4. The lowest quarterback rating for winning quarterback. They put him on there. John Elway made the list. Let me go on my original list. I'll go back to it. But they ain't giving me the yardage, so they're showing all the negative stats on him and shit. Which this sorry ass dude today won the Rich Gannon Award is on that shit as well. So here goes Rich Gannon, sorry ass. He threw 5 interceptions, 5 sacks, Super Bowl. He was throwing them up us like in the first half this game was over. Says for much of his career, Rich Gannon says was viewed as a decent quarterback, says, but not a real impact player at this position. However, he had it, and the reason why they were good, what was good with the Raiders during those years? I know their secondary was good. They had Jerry Rice there, Tim Brown. They were still doing their thing. They were productive. What else did the Raiders have when Rich Gannon was there? I think it might have just been their defense, right? Or was Charles Woodson even on that Raiders team? Charles Woodson didn't go to the Super Bowl with this Raiders team, or did he? And he says, however, says he had a career renaissance says when he joined the Raiders in 1999, says going to the Pro Bowl in his first 4 seasons with the franchise. Says he hit, says 2002, he hit a career peak, says leading Oakland to the Super Bowl, where his ass threw a straight dud. That's what happened when they over fucking celebrate these fucking quarterbacks. So that's However, that game began a downhill spiral in his career. It says, and he'd be out of the league, says a couple of seasons later. So, yep, he was trash. He went from fucking a football darling, an NFL darling, to fucking a glass slipper wearing motherfucker. And he says in their game against former head coach John Gruden, says in the Buccaneers, says he was not only sacked 5 times by Tampa Bay's legendary defense, but he also threw a record 5 INTs in their 48-21 blowout. Trash. That didn't play so fucking weak. That was the last Super Bowl party I think I ever attended, was that one. I think that was the last Super Bowl party I ever went to. And then John Elway says they said he threw 108, 2 interceptions in the Super Bowl. Says, sorry, Bronco fans, says, but it's time to return John Elway in his second nightmare. It says, in his second nightmare night in the Super Bowl. Says, after their loss in 88, Elway showed he was one of the top QBs in the league, says, but getting the team back on to the big game 2 years later, says, this time against Joe Montana and the 49ers. Says, unfortunately, says, things got worse for him, says, in the team in 1990. Says, while getting smashed by San Francisco 55-10, damn. So Elway, let me see. Elway had 108 passing yards, threw two more INTs, says, it was sacked 4 times. Says it was a game that created a narrative over the next 9 years that Elway wasn't a championship quarterback. Says that would eventually be proven very wrong. No, Terrell Davis proved that shit. Don't give John Elway all that fucking credit. TD changed that shit. Cam Newton, he was 18-41, sacked 6 times, probably having to hold it. Nah, let me see go on this Cam Newton shit. What did he do? Because Cam was trying to do too much. Oh, yeah, that's the one he get criticism. They blaming him for not diving on the ball and shit. Just that little one instance, I think, wrecked his career and shit. Are they looking to get him out of there? He threw a lot of passes. 18-41, that's atrocious. It says Carolina Cam Newton says had the greatest season of his career. Earning MVP honors, says throwing 3,800 yards, says running for 638 more. Says and posting 45 touchdowns. A brilliant career. And just the thing, nigga, make it to the damn Super Bowl and it's gone. Make it to the Super Bowl and they tarnish your motherfucking ass. Says unsurprisingly, says he used that elite play, says to take his team to the season Super Bowl. So then hit a wall in the Broncos. Says in his first, that Bronco had a hellified defense too. Says in his first and only Super Bowl appearance, says Newton hit on just 18-41. Says had no touchdowns to 1 INT. Says and was actually sacked 6 times. Says, for as talented as he was, Newton showed the big game is a totally different animal. Same thing with this Drake May motherfucker. You had Kerry Collins. I remember that fool. Kerry Collins was doing commentary or some shit for a while, right? He threw 4 INTs. Well, I knew the New York Giants hated this fool. 4 INTs on 4 sacks. 112 passing yards. And this is at Super Bowl 35. I think I watched that one. Who was they playing? Baltimore. That must have been Ray Lewis' first one. So Kerry Collins created one of the greatest comeback stories in NFL history. Says when he bounced back from serious off the field problems, says and reemerged as an impact quarterback after he joined the New York Giants. So what was his off the field problems? Let me guess. He probably either alcoholic or cokehead. That's what Kerry Collins looked like he was. He might have been a cokehead. Says the following year, says he will lead them on a magical run to Super Bowl 35. Says in a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens and their legendary defense. Defense be smashing fools. Unfortunately, the Giants Cinderella story hit a nightmare against the Ravens, says, in what is probably the worst quarterback performance in Super Bowl history. Says Collins hit 15 of 39 passes for just 112 yards, no touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He was also battered by the Baltimore's defense and sacked 4 times. Says it was a big reason why the G-Men suffered an ugly 34-7 loss on that nightmare in Tampa. Let me see. So they got 2 of these motherfuckers had to come in. Jim Kelly and Frank Reich. 4 INTs, 4 sacks. Super Bowl 30. No, what is this one? 20. This is Super Bowl 27. Remember Jim Kelly? He he the one that went to the 4 straight Super Bowls though. Says in the third of their 4 straight Super Bowl loss. That is an accomplishment though. That is a hella 5 feet to go to the Super Bowl 4 fucking times. But that's also, man, that shit. What mentally, what does that do for a motherfucker? Like you got a team that is that fucking good. Because they had some hellified players on them Buffalo Bills teams. They had some hellified players on them Buffalo Bills teams. They went to 4 of them mugs in a row. 4 straight Super Bowls in a row. What was they had that fool? What was that fool? Thurman Thomas? No, what was that fool? I think Thurman Thomas and they had a hellified receiver there. Some other fools, Bruce Smith and all that shit. So this is the third of the 4 straight Super Bowl losses. Says the worst, says the worst of the worst for the Buffalo Bills. And Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly says came in 1993 at Super Bowl 27 against the Dallas Cowboys, who was a juggernaut. Cowboys was a dog, homie. Not a bad team to lose that shit to. Not a bad team to lose that shit. The Cowboys was shit. That's why Deuce like them. Deuce be wishing he had this Cowboys team, but the Cowboys will never be this shit because Jerry Jones fucked it up. Says the team had more than enough motivation and consecutive losses to the Redskins and the Giants. Unfortunately, they were overwhelmed by the star-studded boys. Says, damn, they lost Stab. Oh my God. Says in their 52-17 blowout loss, Kelly only threw 7 passes before he was knocked out. The fucking Cowboys are hard. They knocked that nigga out. You motherfuckers is cold, homie. Damn, they knocked that fool out the fucking game. They said he was knocked out of the game by the Dallas defense. Says in those 7 passes, he had 2. God damn. Damn. Already 2 interceptions on 7 passes. Damn. That was a nightmare to play against right there. They brought the backup in. Says Frank Wright says did slightly better. Says as he passed for 194 yards and a touchdown. Says but also had 2 INTs and his says of his own. Says combined the combo of Kelly and Rice it was 22 for 38. Not bad right there. Says 1 touchdown, 4 INTs and were sacked 4 times. Boy, that Cowboy team right there was a nightmare to fucking be up against. Them damn Cowboys is the shit. And that's the only reason why Deuce Time like them, because of those 90s Cowboys. All them other years, they ain't been shit. But that's the dirt bag quarterbacks of the Super Bowl, along with this fool that played today for the Patriots. And then Deuce Time says facts to Mob Rob. And then Velocica says haven't watched the Super Bowl halftime show since Janet Peekaboo Nipple. Absolutely. I've seen other ones, but it ain't like I pay attention to the motherfucker. I don't watch Super Bowl for no goddamn halftime show. I liked that Janet Jackson shit. But the Janet Jackson one, who's playing in that Super Bowl? That might have been that Raider one, or was it? Or was that no? What I don't even remember what game that was, but I know that shit was nice. Everybody been looking for to see Janet naked for years. And we got it at the Super Bowl. You know, everybody see them little fine Hollywood star chicks. You be wishing you see their titties or their coochie and shit. And so that's what Janet presented to everybody. Age retro, because it's a man's game, god damn it. You want to see manly shit. Motherfucker ripped her titty off. She knew she set that up. Because Janet was around that time. Janet was getting on that freaky shit. You see them videos from her concert. her grinding on motherfuckers. Janet was into some. I bet Janet was on like real freaky shit. Outside of shit, she probably in them little freak off things and shit. Them Hollywood motherfuckers be on. Janet was definitely part of that shit. Ace Retro says, crazy thing is the Patriots had more touchdowns than the Seahawks offense. Says that pick six killed the Patriots. Wait, which one? Which one is that? Ace Retros, the pick six. Oh, you talking about to says crazy thing is the Patriots had more touchdowns than the Seahawks offense. So that pick six killed the. You talking about today's? I got you. Yeah, because they had the two touchdowns. They had two touchdowns, and then Hermana, but they got the second touchdown in garbage time. And then Hermana says on blood says I'm straight up. Don Moose says Pat's fucked up, yo. Man, you sound fraudulent as fuck trying to talk like how you think a gang member talk. And then Picasso says that might be one of my fucking kids. And then Picasso says Rothenberg. I guess he's talking about Roethlisberger. Says had allegations against him. Says in a motorcycle accident, so he wasn't mentally or physically able to focus on football. But he got the starting position. Yeah, Roethlisberger was allowed to do all type of wicked shit. And then Picasso says Troy Aikman says had concussions after concussion. Says so he was a zombie. And then Velocity Cuss says, "Hey, Cuz says why don't you get into high school coaching?" Says your knowledge of the game says is second to none. I should get into that shit. Basketball coaching, not no football. I couldn't coach no football. That shit. And I'm an honest motherfucker. I can coach some high school basketball. That football shit, no. I think you either need to be around that shit, learning all of the language of football, which I used to never pay attention to. Uh, uh, Learning, you gotta learn the vernacular for that football, how to cover, how to fucking. It's a lot that goes into that shit. I just know what I'm watching in that shit. But coach football, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You coordinate with the multiple positions of coaches and shit. Duke said he coached football. He should do coach that shit. I couldn't coach football, and I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't even fake it. Basketball, hell fucking yeah. And then Jashawn, they're laughing at Velocity cuts like a hater. And then Ace Retro says nah, says with Cam. And y'all gotta use y'all punctuations and shit. Y'all just be writing with no punctuations. That shit is so hard to read that shit. And cause we on nerd time over here, man. We on nerd time, educational time. He says, nah, says with Cam, says it was his shoulders, says that ended it. Says Cam used to throw 60-yard dimes. Says he could barely get the ball 40 yards, says after the injury. Nah, I can't make no excuses for no fucking Cam. Cam was, I'll have to I have to do on the backup channel. We got to rewatch that Super Bowl to see what Cam did wrong in that shit. We'll have to rewatch this shit. I think Cam was letting a lot of hype going into that season get to his fucking head. I think at times some of them teammates got sick of him. I think even some of his line got sick of his ass. Definitely in that season after that shit. Because he ended up being one of the most sacked quarterbacks after that shit. And then Picasso says, make football great again. Absolutely. And then Hermana says, listen, blood. Or he's trying to say that's got to be one of my kids. And then Picasso says, New England went to the bowl, says, and won, says how many times? And then shit, what, 6? And the vice cuss says JB Coach Reg says can predict the play, says before it happens, says he knows what players will be Hall of Fame. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then Picasso says deflated footballs matter. And then Hermana says, hey, blood says not for us he says, hey, blood says not for nothing, says, but the Pats deserve respect, blood. And then Hermana says, I'm on here, says, and respect you, says, but them Pats, baby. And then the Pats got their ass patted down, says 12 times, man. Yeah, them Patriots got their ass patted. Nigga getting robbed, patted down, pockets checked, robbed, and kicked in the ass. But God says Cowboys defense was the shit back in the day. Man, the Cowboys was, and I used to hate the motherfuckers. Because I guess I hated seeing people celebrate the motherfuckers. I was a young kid hater. I didn't like none of this. I just hate when people talk about the Lakers, when the Lakers first start coming out them old ugly ass purple and gold Laker jackets. I didn't like them niggas then. I used to always think be people better. I didn't like a lot of Florida teams in college. I couldn't stand them Florida teams. They was whooping everybody ass. I didn't like that nigga Mike Tyson. I was like always for the underdog when it came to niggas, the TV hyped up and shit. But the Cowboys is the shit. There's no doubt about that shit. And then Hermana says, since I think it was the Bucks says in the Raiders. And then Acosta says, Justin Timberlake says, pull that flap off Janet Titty. Says Janet says she was nasty in her song. Yeah, Janet set that shit up because it had to be set up because it had buttons that if you pull that shit, the shit came out. Yeah, Janet was raw with that shit, man. Janet was raw. I wonder if Justin went back there and got the man. Ain't no way. I've been like Janet, man. Let me at least suck that motherfucker. Like Justin went back there and sucked the titty, man. Or was Janet with Jermaine Dupri or somebody and shit? Or was she single back then? And then Tex Brown Snake says Coach Ridge versus Coach Hawthorne and Asian Zero. This nigga Asian Zero. That motherfucker Fred's such a certified cool. And then Velocity cuts in the roller. Jashawn says, and the velocity of the roller says, I will fire this nigga. Says the same day. No, remember, don't forget that nigga Fred them got fired with an undefeated team and shit. That's how whack that nigga is. White people played them niggas out. Man, that shit was funny as fuck. That nigga got fired as an undefeated coach. Man, that nigga ain't shit but a slave to people. And then they gave the boys basketball team to a dyke. Them niggas ain't worth shit. That nigga lost his undefeated motherfucking team to a dyke. The girls basketball coach. That's the biggest slap in high school sports history. That motherfucker Fred got fired for a fucking lesbian bitch who was the girls basketball coach. That shit is funny as fuck. Velocity Cuz laughing at JB. And then Amanda says, man, says I'm heated blood. Says my Pat says done fucked up tonight, champ. And then Dan says, what went wrong? Says, what went wrong with Cam Newton? Man, with Cam, I gotta check that Super Bowl back out, man. I think that shit was Cam. I don't remember that shit. It's just so long ago. But I know people was making an issue out of Cam not diving on a ball that was fumbled or some shit. And then, but I don't think that cost him. I think people just being highly critical of Cam. And then Ace Retro says the Cam Super Bowl says I cannot defend. Says he played like trash. Says I was speaking what on ended his career. The shoulder injury ended his career. I thought you saying the Super Bowl he had a shoulder injury. And the Picasso and the rolling, but it's just always a lot of pressure on the black quarterback that they don't get to these white dudes. You seen Velocity Cut come out with an excuse for Drake Maye. Nigga, Drake Maye weak. Nigga, play like shit. He'll be back. Yeah. Well, we'll see when he get back. And then Hermana says, man, says I post see you a real nigga, bro. Man, your prisoner ass need to learn how to write, man. It's like a jailhouse writing this shit. And the Blacksy Cuss says, I can't believe Conehead says really called his kid Asian Zero, shaking my head. That's because he a slave, homie. Fred one of them old get out slave ass niggas. Nigga got a mixed kid, black blood, and he named this nigga Asian Zero. Like genetics of Andrew made this kid good in basketball. That motherfucker is stupid as shit. That fool's so goddamn dumb, man. That's what I be saying, man. The long fucking issue, long serving issue amongst the things that plague America in its ignorance when it deals with racism is the weak mindsets of black people who play second fiddle to this shit, act afraid to stand on shit, don't believe in having a voice, and just play to where they're bowing down to make others feel good. Because that's what I used to always hear. This used to always piss me off as a kid. And hearing this from black folks. This is when black folks had this huge rise in pride and shit. And it was just like black people just projecting blackness and pride in blackness. And you have black people be like, we should tone it down and not make others feel uncomfortable. And I used to hear this shit as a kid. I ain't part of the group that's out there kicking up this kind of dust or out there in the forefront. These are people you're looking up to, but hearing people telling black folks that, man, you should tone it down. You shouldn't be so out there and in people's face with your blackness. Like, what the fuck? Like, Why the hell would you teach anybody that shit? Like, and then that shit still exists today. Like, black people afraid to be fucking black and shit, and afraid to make their kids proud to be black. Picasso and they're rolling, and then Hermana says, you know, laughing, says, my dog on gang blood says, how you knew I'm straight up a prisoner, says, homie, says, this is love, says, we have a champ. Man, because you writing and you sound like this nigga with your writing. Let me play the video for you. This is the video I play for when people can't write in this mug. This is you right here.
And it's so funny.
Man, you reading like you slow, cuz.
I can go twice as high.
Nah, it just show up different.
Take a look.
Y'all never went live before. It look
A
different.
reading rainbow.
What's going down?
Anywhere. Friends to know.
It's a lot of comments
ways to
on here.
grow. A reading rainbow.
Cuz can't read. Who can't read? Derek Harris. Who is that?
Take a look. It's in a book. A reading
Screenshot.
rainbow.
SS.
A reading
That shit for me, please. What do SS mean? Can somebody help me with that? I don't know what SS mean. Get off here. Get off here. I know I'm here. I'm here.
So that's how I knew you was in prison, because you write how that dude right there read shit. And then Ace Retro says Drake not going back. Says Drake not going back until the Patriots take the ball out of his hand. Says they won a lot of games this year. Says with that off balance system. Says but you can't win big games with a pass heavy attack. And man, you gotta have, even when them games are like that, man, they gotta settle that dude down. I think the coaches did a poor job of not helping Drakemaye to settle down and shit. They didn't help him settle down. I think he would have calmed himself down. He could have had a better play in this game, but they were bringing a lot of pressure and shit. Number 2021 with his damn pads, blitz and shit, he was off the hook. And then Jashawn says when you gonna play them Tayshawn highlights? Says neighborhood. I did play the mugs. I did play the mugs on the backup channel. And then Auto Boxy says, peace, brothers and sisters. I gotta go back to work. Picasso in there rolling. Look, Picasso can't wait till he see this nigga Auto Boxy. So he says, sound like he smoked too many cigarettes. Ace Retro says, get off of here. He in there rolling. They in there rolling. So laugh out loud. Says, my dog says, love you, man. And then he says, man, homie, says, we over here, listen, says, we overheard, listen to the damn, the fuck, man. They need to put you jailhouse niggas in libraries. Fucking cell. Lock this nigga up in the library and shit, man. Lock that nigga up around notebooks. Like, just lock y'all up with notepads and books. And I know Boxer laugh at that Red Rainbow. It says you got to give it to Red. Says he's an equal opportunity. Says Smoke. Says Giver. Says the word. Says stall him out. Red. Says he never existed. Oh, says stall him out. Says stall him out. Red says have never existed in his vocabulary. Man, nah, man. We gotta push the truth on people so that they do better. And then that's what I was telling my brother when I was talking to him and shit. He was up there, we was having a conversation on shit, and I was telling him, man, because he was talking about things about how they go about punishing and people in prison and how they doing wrong. Like, nah, you can't play this shit a victim, like y'all are victims. Everybody in prison is a victim and what they got to do for people. No, niggas have committed crimes. It ain't about finding, ways to just release niggas. You've committed crimes, especially niggas who have committed murder. Their forgiveness need to be through the families, not just everybody, free me and free me. No, nigga, you didn't committed some shit, and therefore you must pay for whatever is your sentence. You get sentenced for life and shit. You got to find retribution from that family, where that family can forgive you over that shit and call for your release. But all that shit, niggas in prison ain't victims, bro. I don't, fuck all that. And that's just me. I just like to keep shit funky, keep shit real. And this shit go the same thing. But I think that our system has fucked up, like me and was talking. The system has fucked up to set up conditions to fuck people over. And it's played out through Americans' history and still attach association to really still being a slave-ass society. And when niggas ain't woke up here, they go about committing the games that that lead to filling these systems and shit. And then they commoditize that system. And then Leo says DM, or he met Drake May. That's what DM is. The better quarterback says Josh Allen. Is he? Says was at 23. Says with average at best offensive talent. Says around him. Says I don't know what the other part was supposed to be fan. And then he says, Blood, says, I'm trying to tell you, says we listen, we sirens in the joint. Nigga still came right, man. Fucking goddamn. Tomorrow, what's tomorrow in jail? Monday? I know the library open in that motherfucker. You better go grab some books in that bitch, man. God damn. Velocity Cuss says, remember NFL White Hype and Sam Bradford and Colt McCoy propaganda BS. I couldn't stand that motherfucker Colt McCoy. That's the first time I discovered Dominican Sue. When Colt McCoy was the nigga at Texas, yeah. Colt McCoy was that motherfucker at Texas. I can't stand the Texas quarterback shit neither. That motherfucker Vince Young's the best shit to come from, but Texas got a history of hyping up the most sorry ass, farm raised ass punks. And then the same thing with SC. Got all that shit with hyping up them old fucking Mission Viejo, Orange County ass motherfucking quarterbacks with all type of black talent around them. Colt McCoy was a motherfucker. I remember when I was in Ormond, they used to hype up Major Applewhite, that nigga Colt McCoy. I was always hearing the white quarterbacks there. Best nigga ever come out of that shit was Vince Young by a long shot. But when Colt McCoy is at that shit, is hyping that little round face motherfucker up. And then when they went into that game against Nebraska, Dominican Sue was suplexing the fuck out of him. And I like Texas Longhorn football, but I couldn't stand the hyping around Colt McCoy. That motherfucker, when I seen how mean and Dominican Sue was, I said, this motherfucker is the type of player I'm going to follow. And I love to see him leave the league with a Super Bowl. When he played for trash-ass Detroit, he was still the only motherfucker doing his thing, stumping on bitch-ass quarterbacks, kicking 300-pounders in their fucking ass, throwing them out the way, and he was mean as shit, and these little pansies on network TV did nothing but cry like bitches. Yeah, I see a nigga in Nebraska play Texas. That nigga was body slamming. I think he hurt Colt McCoy, matter of fact. I think he suplexed Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy wasn't hurt. Colt McCoy was scared. That crazy nigga was going to get back to him. I ain't never seen a lineman that fucking dominant like I've seen in Dominican fucking Sue. That motherfucking Dominican Sue was a fucking, I would have found a way out the game too. That motherfucker was raw than a motherfucker in what football needs. That fool, fuck Colt McCoy. And Sam Bradford, I don't remember him. Because I don't always watch the damn pro sports because it's too much white hype in that shit. That's why I turned, like with boxing, which I like, I turn all that commentary shit off. Even when I watch shit like this, the NFL and all that shit, I would turn the volume off. Like, I don't want to hear these fucking motherfuckers. Unless it's going to be people that just call the game for what it is. But these fools have an overboard tendency to want to white hype the game for what? And then Auto Boxer says Rez be trying to correct people's language at the family reunion. Says they can't even eat their hamburger in peace. Nah, I think we definitely got to learn how to talk better. I think we definitely have to write better. We have to articulate ourselves better. We have to learn how to conversate better. I think that's all big shit. Those are improvements to help our community. You listen in conversations with niggas, you go into conversation around. Sometimes you just sit back and observe groups of niggas in conversation, how they talk. It's just a bunch of everybody talking on each other. Everybody trying to feed them words. A conversation can be here. Niggas standing next to each other having a different conversation. You can go to lectures and shit. And people are lecturing and other people's side conversations. I hate that shit. Even when I'm cool, when I'm at like lecture shit where information is being fucking information is being put out and there's a person who's speaking, delivering a message, I do not hang around people that I'm cool with. Because everybody love to do all this shit and miss all of the message. Don't listen to shit. And then I see it here. Even when we conversate, how people talk, I hate that shit. I've hated that shit since I've been young, even in school. Even at school, be classes I like. I would sit by people I like. And then some class, I can be a class clown in classes, but these classes where I ain't interrupting the teacher, I always paid attention. But that shit, niggas talking and all that other shit, or somebody giving out information, you hear all this side chatter shit, like, I'm about to move. Like, fuck, like, learn to listen and shit. Learn to listen in conversations. Like that shit is a big thing for us to overcome. And when people don't listen, they don't know what the information is. And how do you respond to some shit if you never listen to it? And then Ace Retro says the defense the Patriots have has always been better than the Bills. Says the Bills have the same problem as the Pats. Says got to take the rock out of Josh hands sometimes. But you got to find just better running back, and you got to find coaches that are going to commit to the fucking run. You gotta find a commitment to the run and shit. Because all this overhyping and emphasis on quarterbacks and all that shit, I don't understand that shit. Like, how do you remember back in the day, used to make all these commercials when they used to when receivers were coming to a rise, and then you had through network television and commercials, even a bitch like Bill Riley that tried to shit on that shit. When receivers were on the way up and receivers were very vocal and this and that. And they made it the receiver, these old divas, these prima donnas. Even Budweiser had a commercial with the one black dude. Remember the black dude who had a commercial which was extremely fucking funny, but that was an attack about receivers. The TO type, the Ocho Cinco type receivers who were making it known like, nigga, I am the team. I'm this and that. They had that dude playing that shit. That was an attack on black receivers. And then they want to reel that shit in to making it about these white quarterbacks because they were starting to lose their, I don't know what the word is, starting to lose their position of power within the team structure. But for most dumb motherfuckers, they don't peep none of that shit. And then Hermanis said, laughing his ass off, says, shoot, gang. And he says, and then Nano Boxing says, hit the like button. He said, jit the like button. Hit the like button, says, are Red's gonna clown you, man? No, I'm just gonna clown niggas when they can't write, like the nigga out of prison in here. And the Vlasi Cuss says that's probably T's burner account. And then Pittsburgh T, Hermanis says I love meet you as homie seen. This nigga can't write for shit. Yeah, there's somebody trolling this shit. Yeah, nigga, you need to go to prison library, man. You gotta learn to write. And today's retro says Cole went to the quarterback graveyard, says with the Browns, says, and that's pretty much the end of his career. His career is gonna end anyway. Cole McCoy was not that good. Cole McCoy just comes from the good old silver boy system of the white NFL. With all these connections, just being white kid, go to this school, play good, play in this conference, less black kids around there to intercept your passes, go to look good, and cross your fingers, hope you get to good university with gooder black receivers that can jump up for the ball and get away from a defender that your sorry ass will throw interception to. It's simple to that. And then Arnold Boxer says, I didn't watch Super Bowl, says, says he meant it. Says, was it a good game? Says game, commercials, halftime show. Man, commercials, halftime. What kind of weird ass dude shit is that to ask about a Super Bowl? Then they go ask them all, y'all niggas is blend of women and shit. What the fuck is wrong with you dudes? And they gonna ask about commercials in the halftime show, man. Get the fuck out of here. We talking football, man. Nigga, what you want to go shopping? You got your purse ready, girl? Fuck out of here asking this stupid God damn, man. The fuck kind of shit you niggas be asking? They gonna ask about the commercial. What you want? You fuck niggas. That nigga shit was the commercials good, man. Fuck them commercials. The halftime show, man. The fuck out of here. The game was good to me. I like the shit. They gonna ask about the commercials. Fuck up. Yeah, my favorite commercial was the one with nigga crazy, man. You niggas fucking. I be telling you, man, something going on with you niggas, man. The program and the TV and shit. Get off that shit. Start looking at these hoes, man. Go to Twitter, man. Look at naked bitches. Niggas are asking about the halftime fucking show and commercials and shit. Oh my god, this nigga be at the game rewinding that commercial shit. The Picasso says I bet it's a black dude in prison for us. I bet it's a black dude in prison for life. Says probably from stealing something simple like a tricycle. The 1970s model says it's innocent people in there. Yes, innocent people in there, and there's people who ain't innocent. And then Hermione says I don't know what this nigga writing. He says football says me love. Oh, this nigga like a foreign ass prisoner and shit. And then so he committed a crime. It's one of them niggas that hopped the border, committed a crime, and joined a gang or some shit. Ace Retro says coach tried to run Sue. Oh, sorry. Coach tried to run Sue over, it says, and fucked up his shoulder. Man, that motherfucker, Dominican Sue was just doing that nigga called McCoy turkey. And he was grabbing Colt McCoy. Wow. That nigga Dominican Sue fucking hated quarterbacks, man. I used to love that shit. That nigga get a penalty, man. He get a hold of a quarterback and gain a 15-yard penalty. No way Detroit should not have won a Super Bowl with that. Nigga, they had Megatron there. That fool. But no, the funniest fucking shit I seen somebody do something was that motherfucking crazy ass fool. When he did this shit, this one I knew he was certified fucking crazy. That nigga Antonio Brown with that nigga. Yeah, I can watch that video 100 times and I'm gonna fall out laughing. When that nigga got that damn punt return, that nigga got a punt return, he in there breaking. That nigga gone. He got only the kicker to beat. That nigga Spartan kicked that motherfucker. That nigga did a long jump Spartan kick to the damn kicker chest. I think they threw a flag on his ass. That nigga Antonio Brown is fucking crazy, dude. And I see why he in all this trouble and shit. When he did that shit, I was like, yeah, that nigga crazy. Oh, that's what made him go crazy. Did he get hit or some shit? Then somebody hit Antonio Brown hard as fuck and fuck his head up. And he ain't never been the same since that shit. He just fast with a fucking brain that had been shook in his head. That motherfucker did that return and kicked that kicker like that. I was dying. Like, this motherfucker is crazy. That shit, the NFL, I be seeing why these fools getting in trouble, man. Something, man, that football shit be fucking them up. Let me see. It says, hey, remember Philly says when Brian Dawkins nigga was, man, we used to watch that fool. Man, I'd be like, I would never want to play football with no fool like Brian Dawkins. Like, hell, I used to love looking at that nigga highlight film. Brian Dawkins has some of the craziest highlights. That nigga tackles and shit. I'm kind of sad that he never won a Super Bowl. I don't think Brian Dawkins ever won a Super Bowl. But he's definitely a hog. Remember that one time they had that little short motherfucker? What's that fool named? Bob Sanders. He used to be out there smacking shit. Vontaze Burfict says gave Antonio Brown an instant seat. Yeah, that's who hit him. Man, Antonio Brown been crazy ever since that shit. But when he kicked that kicker like that, I said, man, this thing is stupid as fuck, man. And he says we learn for you gangs. Oh my God, this nigga here. And then on the box it says Reg ain't no blood. Says I ain't no OG neither. I don't know why y'all putting that false information on here. Says he OG Crip for neighborhood, OG for neighborhood. Says throw your gang sign up. Says Reg don't represent no gang. Don't promote that shit. But don't denounce that shit neither. I think black gangs are very necessary for black protection, and they should learn that. Their members should learn that shit. The activities should be learned on how to be a gangster, not a reckless imbecile. And he says, the grammar crip cuz he's got jokes. Hermeta says that sometimes is nigga love for hear y'all. And then Negative 9 says Tony Romo says coming out of retirement. I mean, that's how bad these quarterbacks is. Now that you brought that shit up, they brought that reject motherfucker. Man, they was doing that shit with Brett Favre, bringing him out when he should have been retired. They did that shit with this fool recently. What's this fool they brought back from the Colts? What's that fool? Was that Phillip Rivers? I think it was Phillip Rivers. They brought his old ass out of retirement. Like, a bunch of old motherfuckers can come back. I done heard Tom Brady talking about how he can still play in this league. Because these young fools is dumb in here, man. That's why you see Drake May play this dumbass game he played today. I wouldn't be surprised Tony Romo come out. And then Mirror says Dig gonna be in there. Says locked up. Says Dig's gonna be in there locked up soon. Shaking my head. You think he gonna whoop Cardi B ass? Man, he act like he got game, he got broads. He better learn because Cardi got one of these on her. She got a little hot pocket ass mouth. And she be so out of pocket, I'm pretty sure. That's that New York girl shit. So he better learn how to just leave that bitch where she at. Cause Cardi can talk all that shit, but Cardi emotional. Cardi real insecure too. She a bitch. She love hard too. So that's how you got to put her in her place. Like, hey, bitch, I ain't got time for none of your shit. I just lost the Super Bowl. I don't want to hear shit. I don't even want to hear your little hood rat ass music. Look, big, don't say shit to me. You shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that red bottom shit. You get your surgery enhanced ass away from me for right now. Shit, I'm out here trash. They about to cut my ass. I ain't do shit in the Super Bowl. I need at least 5 catches to be like I got value to the team. The niggas about to cut me. You ain't dropping no albums and shit. We had this new baby. I mean, shit. You got this other nigga kids all up in here. Yeah, that nigga, all this shit about to hit that nigga at once. You like, what the fuck I done did? I'm stuck with fucking certified, ready-made family ass nigga. Fool about to feel fucked up. But nah, Cardi love hard. I think she'll help take care of that fool. But she better get the riding and shit. Get the ride and get in that studio. But you know what Cardi done fucked up at with her career? Is not being in movies. That chick should have definitely got in some movies and some other shit rather than reality shows and shit. And the Mirror says, yeah, but yeah, Diggs better not put his hands on Cardi B. And then the Picasso says Samoans can take over. It says can take over the offensive line. That's what Dion needs to go be recruiting a bunch of them fucking Samoans and stop going to just Florida to find fucking his recruitment and shit. And he says, and I put some tall Africans as wide receivers. Says, and my quarterback says will be a veteran Air Force pilot. What the fuck Picasso talking about? Says and everybody take boxing lessons for what? For penalties? Well, you want a team full of niggas get penalties for dumb shit? And then Jashawn in the row, Velasquez rolling. Hernandez says it's not matter. He says it not matter if he crip our blood. Says me love, me nigga, the real ones have love. Says I'm sorry, homie. Just love all my bloods. Fuck, you gotta be joking. They says laugh out loud, fuck the halftime. This nigga, I don't know, box comer asks for a fucking halftime showing commercials. Day Nye says, I remember the GoDaddy commercial. Says that's when I realized that the snow bunnies were superior to the black holes. You remember that nigga Don Imus? You remember that motherfucking Don? To watch that nigga in the Army early in the morning when I be getting ready for PT in the morning. That nigga Don Imus be on early in the fucking morning. But when I get out, I ain't seen that nigga. But when he said that shit about them broads, kick that old ass nigga off the fucking TV. That nigga's reporting they showing he on country motherfucker. No damn well don't like black bitches. They show them damn college basketball girls. He playing like a team with some lighter skinned chicks, some white chicks, and that they seen that team for them dark girls. He said them some nappy headed hoes. That was the first major motherfucker to get canceled over some shit. They kicked this stupid ass off TV so fucking fast because they be wanting to hide their racism because they be wanting you to buy the shit they promote. And that nigga, man, and that's the crazy thing. That boycotting shit be working, man. They get rid of a bigot motherfucker in a heartbeat. That nigga said them some nappy headed hoes, man. And I went back and watched them. Watch who he was talking about, man. Rather than get him mad, I started laughing even more. I was like, this motherfucker is stupid for saying that shit. He's stupid for saying that shit. He says, hey, remember Philly says when they had Brian, yeah, that motherfucker Brian Dawkins a hog. Says shit. Ben Pats fans says since Ty lost, says and Doug. Is that supposed to be Flutie? Who the fuck named this nigga right? Look at Doug Flutie. Says Burfict said gave Antonio Brown instant CT. Oh, he must have killed his ass with that hit. That fool ain't been the same since. And it's like, damn, what do you do with a motherfucker with CTE? Like, what do you do with a person with CTE, man? You might as well fucking. I wouldn't. I was about to say some other shit, but no, they deserve to live. What the fuck do you do with a motherfucker for CT? What do you do with a motherfucker at CT and that nigga benching 600 pounds and shit? And then Auto Boxer says, "Ain't nobody asked you." Says, "Ain't nobody asked you to critique my question." Says, "Just tell me about the new Dorito commercial." Says, "And the new movies coming out." Man, I don't watch that pussy ass shit. That shit can play on this TV, and that shit will be out of my brain. And the second it goes off this mug, I ain't pay attention to all that stupid ass shit. And then and he said, "Nah, chill." Says, "I'm straight from oh, he from England." Nigga, how the fuck you from England and really can't speak English? Yeah, you definitely in one of the more English old brick made from the 1700 ass prisons and shit. Yeah, isn't it? Definitely in that motherfucker. Oh my god, nigga from England who can't write. Oh, he said New England up in like the Boston area. Now you ought to really be speaking proper ass English. Because it says Roma wasted 11 years. That's how long Roma was in the NFL? He says, yeah, it was Phillip Rivers who they brought back. Oh, trash ass Phillip Rivers. And then Mirror says, Diggs got a case right now. Says his chef said Diggs slapped her and choked her. Laugh out loud. Oh, man. Oh, you right. It was some controversial shit with that fool in the beginning. Yeah. I forgot about that shit. And then Rob G says she was in Fast and Furious. Who was? Cardi B was? Was she in there shaking her ass? She didn't have no role in that shit. And her man says, "Stop fucking with my dog's Diggs, man." Says he got a temp. Says he got a temp. Actually, he has court date. Says same as me. Yeah, I bet you do got a court date with that nigga. What you did? Murder somebody? In the mirror, Jashawn, they're laughing. Picasso says Cardi did have a video out with her sucking her dude off. Says while doing drugs. I remember that fool Diggs had them bras on the boat with Cardi and passing them dope. Man, he probably doing all type of fun shit with Cardi. Cardi probably a fun broad to be around, to be with and shit. And then you be like, damn, this can't be my main bitch. Like that's what I think throw people off with Cardi. Like you got your main broad, she fun, but she a hoe. And then when you have kids where they're like, oh nah, I can't look at this shit. This can't be my main lady. And then you getting old and shit, your fucking moral standards changing. You ain't on your little wild, freaky shit. And he says the dog cried, says he said that quarterback said that's quarterback says that's how I feel. What he said, that dog cried, says he said that QB says that's how I feel. But Drake, god damn boy, you can't write for shit. And he says the F9 2021. What's that? F9 2021. I'm lost on that one, Rob G. But folks, that's all I got. I'm about to get out of here. I'm gonna check some other content. Like I said, I'll be watching that shit that they got over on that five. What is it? The 78 of them channel. They got the because he be having sometimes he has some badass broads. He got one broad. She a little pretty chick, but this bitch retarded. They got a little pretty retarded broad over on the 304 show. And bro, what's her name? Her name August. I don't know if y'all be watching that shit. I'll be watching it because they got some pretty chicks over there at times. That bro, lightweight fucking retarded is a motherfucker. She about as dumb as hell. Says, oh, man, I don't know the names for this fast and business. They said just put F9. I don't watch movies like that. So I don't, you got to write shit out for me. I don't be knowing acronyms that people leave to shorten up words so they ain't got to write shit out. I don't be knowing that shit. And I definitely don't know the short writings for fucking movies and shit. Like even some people y'all be putting that shit in for like certain athletes and superstars. I don't be knowing that shit. But yeah, they got a little pretty ass broad be on that 304 show, man. It's like 4 or 5. Sometimes he may have five chicks, but he got a bunch of dudes on it today. So sometimes they have good convo, but when he had the bras on there, I'll be watching that shit. They got that little chick, Karen, she fine, Rose, but there's a broad on there named August. That bitch retarded as fuck. I'm like, ain't nothing worse than you having, and you know, then you feel bad for even taking advantage. You fucking a bitch who stupid but pretty in the motherfucker. And you just taking advantage, and then you feel bad for that shit. That's what that chick is. That chick is dumb as fuck, but it's funny watching her till they kick her off. And he laughing his fucking ass, says, nigga says, I'm from Providence. Man, oh, bro, this nigga from everywhere. And then Sean says about to watch some hoes, throw some ass on says on FaceTime, says I'm out. Salute, man. Get them hoes up on that FaceTime and shit. And then shit, I need to make me a little I'm on a drought. I gotta get me some new hoes that I want to fuck with. But like I said the other day, I got this little snow bunny who I know own. This bitch is she a real foreign snow bunny. So she real snow. She like that shit Lindsey Vonn done got hurt, and this chick from Austria or some shit. This and she a little bad when she been on the nigga. She a little skinny thing. I'm a big dog. You know, some of the European chicks, some foreign chicks be liking when you got weight on you and shit. That little broad be on. I be seeing her peep, and she's on Friday. She's on, but then she ran. I don't know if this is her grandmother. I see where I do not like. If that's her grandma, I do not like that lady. I can't stand that lady, but I be seeing her on. That make me really want to, just get. Let me stop talking like this, because I know my kids found my page. I got to remember, man, I got to clean up. I got to clean up so she let the snow. Look, it'd be like God be looking out for me, man. Like I say, that's why I don't be stressing shit. God be presenting this shit. I just talk about some shit and then God just lay that shit right in my lap. See, God like motherfuckers to have hoes too. No. And Autobox says, stop faking. It says, you ain't got no girl. It says, you always in that room. No, I ain't. I'm only in this motherfucker when I'm live because I ain't going nowhere. But then I be having time. Like, nigga, you act like I spend the night at bitch's house. And I don't bring bitches over to my house. I got kids. The fuck you talking about? These niggas is stupid. Y'all don't know how the game go. And then Hermeta says, of course, says, God got you, champ. And that's why anytime I go to LA, I go get hotels and shit. Like shit. And then and Picasso says Asians probably think you a Buddhist, says reincarnated, man. Yo, absolutely, they probably think that shit. You know, the sumo wrestling niggas get all the hoes over in Japan. That shit crazy. They fuck with big ass sumo wrestlers who can't fuck for shit. That's why them bitches find to let a black motherfucker hit them Asian bitches be all like a motherfucker. They used to little shrimp dick 400-pound motherfuckers tapping that shit. Motherfuckers crazy. Oh my God. That's the only reason I want to go to another countries, man. Them motherfucker, that shit easy. Now I go to that bitch in my uniform, nigga. Nigga really get pussy, that bitch. Nigga show up in an army uniform. Like, American GI. It's going down. Yeah, bitch. Oh my God. Them motherfucking hoes be on them damn. That's why soldiers be smashing everything around the world. You other motherfuckers be out here tricking. You niggas call themselves passport bros and shit. Yeah, I'm going out there GI status. Yeah. Bitches be lined up. And it says, I remember before September 11th, man, me and the homies, when we was gonna go to Korea and shit, they would send our asses to Korea before the motherfuckers hit them damn buildings and shit. I know I was gonna give me some damn Korean mama song. So I knew I was just like wishing to go over there, and I was amped about that shit. That was the first time in my life I ever saved some money. I was gonna be trying to buy clothes over there, shoes and shit. And then them stupid motherfuckers flew them planes in them buildings. But I was gonna try to go there. But the one homie was talking about going to Panama because he used to be a Marine before he came over to the Army. That fool, he's talking about going to the Panamanian clubs, and he being there. Just once you go to the club, them bitches be spotting like, oh yeah, that's an American GI, and just be on. But all the stories of like when soldiers go to another country, them bitches be on. They know the deal. You go over there and motherfucking fuck all that. You can wear all the little flashiest clothes you want. Them bitches don't know what that shit, but you wear a uniform, it's over with. Y'all can wear all that other shit y'all be buying. I'm wearing camouflage, nigga. No limit soldier on them hoes. He says, of course, says God got you, champ. Says Asians probably think you a Buddha reincarnated. Says quick, keep it keep it going. Says I got another 4 hours of work. Yeah, no, I'm out of here. Yeah, and the Rolling says Private Reg. Yeah. Fuck it, I go in there with General Strike. That motherfucking rank don't matter, man. Them bitches just see that uniform and shit. GI's been over when they supposed to be in war. They over there fucking getting everything, getting the enemy's bitches pregnant. Niggas over there getting the enemy's bitches pregnant in war. You in war. Oh my God. What it is to be a black soldier. You just dealing with them old haters in your unit. Knowing you over there fucking Hitler bitches and shit. That's bad. That's why they kept all the blacks from World War II. Knowing damn well be over there getting Hitler bitches pregnant and shit. But God says I was in Cambodia. It says I was in a Cambodian nightclub last year. It says they want me back. Yeah, them hoes be on. They be on. That's the beauty of being a black motherfucker. Can't nobody tell me nothing about, oh, you black this and you black that. Man, I got all type of diss for them motherfuckers. Like what I can go to your motherfucking motherland country and do to the bitches in it. And then Otto Boxer says, so my Navy buddy says, tell me, says Australia says it's off the hook. Says for the brother, hell yeah, man. I have white, bro. I told this story before. And then that's the truth about everywhere around the world. But Australia and white girls love black motherfuckers. It was some white ladies that came out to Vegas. They used to come out here every so often when I worked at fucking Enterprise. And man, they got cool with me, everything. We write each other on the damn Facebook and shit. And they will always talk about, oh my God, if you ever come to Australia, my nieces will adore you. They'll fall in love with you. And I already knew what it was. Cause me being a dark-skinned black dude. Like them girls love that shit. That shit. And that's what that other little snow bunny I'm talking about, why she probably be on me. This a little bad little white chick. Bad as fuck. Picasso says that's part of the war. It says take everything. Them motherfuckers be on, but I gotta pay homage to the black folks who come from before me that have made being black what it is. Why you gotta reject cornball ass, sucker ass, coon ass black people. It have people been before you who have made this thing of being a black motherfucker a thing to fucking be. They've been the coolest motherfuckers walking this goddamn surface. They make sure they stay true to themselves and stay away from that strange shit. You know what started happening to black people? When black people start wanting to get associated and being white culturally, doing everything whites and all that shit was doing, blacks became gay. That's what started happening to motherfuckers. So you got to shift away from this shit. The more blacks want to do everything that they feel was the white American way, is the more they became openly fucking gay. And then Otto Boxer says, my uncle in the army told me, Germany women says, it's on us brothers. Hell yeah. My recruiter was trying to tell me to go to fucking Germany because of that shit. That's why Hitler hit his bitch. When Jesse Owens and him came over for that Olympic shit, he kept that bitch up in that mountain. She couldn't come down from that shit. He didn't want her to see what black motherfucking athletes can do, and the fact that Hitler been telling all that lie shit about how they superior and the Aryan this and Aryan that. And he is teaching the kids that shit. Them kids, after watching that race, said, we ain't shit. We ain't shit. We gonna beat up these other whites. That's why they did that shit. They start beating up the other whites and shit. They realize we ain't fucking with them black motherfuckers unless you invent a nuclear tank. Motherfuckers start making nuclear tanks in that bitch. Yeah, fucking Hitler was a hoe. Because it says, so my girl looks like a dime, says just right in all the says just right in all the right. You forgot the word right areas. Says eventually, says she'll get old, says, and I'll need to make more important decisions. Says older looking. But no, you don't want to make them decisions. You want to, and see, that's the crucial thing about when people find, a person to be with, is that you want to make sure that motherfucker is there. As you write the words getting old, you want to make sure you find a broad that's gonna be there. Not a broad looking for an exit once you get old and shit. And then Hermata says straight up, says my ancestors from Angola, says in Cabo Verde, says straight up. The Picasso says I left my ex says because of wrinkles. Damn, you foul as fuck. You don't leave your chick because of wrinkles and she getting old. You don't even leave your chick. But see, that means your relationship was fucked up. You don't leave your chick even if she gets stretch marks or none of that shit. That's your chick. But that's when people be fucking their relationships up. You don't leave a chick over that shit. Said yeah, attitude. Yep. See, that's what it wasn't the wrinkles. It must have been the attitude. But folks, it's all I got. I'm out of this joint. Peace, god damn it. I may be on here tomorrow, so peace. Or maybe I'll come back on earlier. I mean later. Nah, I ain't about to jump back on here. I'm out. Peace, peace.